Chapter 6 of Characteristics of Spiritual Path for
Pope Shenouda III, which is about wisdom and discernment.
We're conditioned to think that if you practice good habits, praying constantly, being endlessly generous, observing strict fasts, you're automatically on the fast track to spiritual success. But history shows that pure devotion without a steering wheel often results in marching right off a cliff. Take someone who decides to practice extreme humility and constant forgiveness. They let people walk all over them without setting any boundaries. Instead of achieving peace, they end up deeply humiliated, which eventually breeds violent resentment toward everyone around them. This is a historical problem. Centuries ago, the founders of monasticism, the Desert Fathers, saw this happening constantly. Saint Abba Antony noted that many fail in their spiritual lives despite strict fasting. He concluded that discernment is undoubtedly the greatest of all virtues. As the text notes, it discriminates right from wrong and permeates every virtue. Discernment is the internal compass. It's the mechanism that discriminates between right and wrong in complex situations, dictating exactly how and when to practice any other habit. Having pure intentions is not enough. Without that compass to guide it, raw religious effort is actively destructive to your character. Because true discernment is difficult to build, people frequently substitute it with something that looks similar but operates completely differently: worldly wisdom. Looking at this passage, the wisdom of the world relies on craftiness, lies, and deception to force a quick result. It's the kind of cunning that might help you win a negotiation or outsmart a rival, but it introduces chaos into your life. The second imposter is raw human intelligence, sheer mental processing power. You can have an excellent intellect and still make disastrous life choices. A highly intelligent person's reasoning is easily hijacked by sudden emotional outbursts, hidden lusts, or a complete lack of lived experience. Brain power alone cannot synthesize human behavior. Neither clever cunning nor raw brain power can untangle complex moral dilemmas. They both lack the stabilizing anchor of divine insight needed to see the complete picture. You don't need discernment to tell you whether to steal or commit murder. Those choices are obvious. Discernment exists almost exclusively for the gray areas. The first major domain where you need this skill is when evaluating an action where both the ultimate outcome and the methods to achieve it are entirely unclear. The text here highlights an even harder domain: the paralysis of choosing between two objectively good paths. Should you pursue a solitary monastic life or serve the community through the priesthood? Both are righteous, but choosing the one that actually fits your specific character requires immense clarity. A third critical area is pacing. When you decide to build a new habit, you have to determine the correct speed to acquire it. Rush in with too much zeal and you'll burn out. Move too slowly and you invite apathy. The vast majority of your life will be spent navigating these ambiguous, competing goods. Trying to map this terrain without discernment guarantees that you will eventually get lost. So how do you actually acquire it? The process starts with a primary source, directly seeking God's guidance to illuminate your blind spots through continuous, focused prayer. The second source is external. You have to submit your ideas to the scrutiny of wise, experienced mentors who see the angles you're missing. But you don't just find one person and mimic them. The ideal student acts like a bee collecting nectar, gathering distinct insights from multiple teachers to form a complete understanding, rather than becoming a carbon copy of a single mentor. The third requirement is the slow accumulation of life experience over time, learning from both your own failures and the shared history of others. As this section outlines, the ultimate enemy of this experience is youthful hastiness. Rushing into decisions without study or scrutiny short-circuits the learning process and produces entirely superficial results. True wisdom is a slow, carefully woven matrix of divine inspiration, community feedback, and measured experience. It is entirely incompatible with the urge for a quick fix. Let's apply this to real-world practices. Take the habit of silence. Reading this excerpt, we see that endless silence isn't always holy. Sometimes it stems from laziness, ignorance, or simple cowardice. A truly wise person knows exactly when speaking up is more beneficial than staying quiet. The same logic applies to managing your emotions. Some people think that perpetual sorrow and weeping over their flaws is the peak of spirituality, but a discerning practitioner will actively limit their own sadness. They know they have to intentionally mingle their contrition with the joy of the Holy Spirit. Otherwise, that unbroken gloom will fester into total despair. Or consider how you treat others. Always responding with soft meekness can enable destructive behavior. There are specific situations where a wise person must employ severe strictness to prevent a catastrophe. Isolated virtues are merely tools in a toolkit. They possess no inherent value unless they are dynamically selected and applied based on the exact needs of the present moment. To master this, a spiritual person must operate exactly like a highly trained medical professional. As this final passage explains, a discreet physician possesses the precision and the courage to use a sharp scalpel, even performing an amputation when an infection runs deep. But that same physician equally understands when a patient is fragile, knowing precisely when to put the scalpel down and administer soothing painkillers instead. The spiritual path is not rigid obedience to a static list of rules. It is the lifelong mastery of diagnosing conditions, reading the environment, and applying the exact right remedy at the exact right time.